Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's unseen video. This is where we round up all the big talking points from social media, and this has been a pretty big talking point today. A lot of excitement because we've got what feels to be a little bit more of like a custom stage, and obviously we've got the Eiffel Tower in the middle. You can see that there's kind of like a front part to the stage as well, and then there's a bit at the back. You can kind of see that a little bit clearer in the next image, in the next footage, but it's really good. It's really nice. It's great that we're actually doing something a bit more adventurous again, so don't know, hopefully we can sort of, you know, move forward with this and actually start to bring some of the personality, some of the characteristics of the places that we are into the stage. And I've been saying this for a long time. Every arena, every stage, it just feels like we're in the same place. If we're in England, I want to feel like we're in England. If we're in France, I want to feel like we're in France. If we're in Texas, I want to feel like we're in Texas. I don't really like every venue, every stage feeling the same. I understand from a cost point of view, you've kind of got to do that when it comes to Raw and Smackdown, but you don't have to do that when it comes to the PLEs. So this has been very, very well received. And this is the point that I'm making about there being a couple of levels. You can see that this kind of curved bit at the front with this flat Eiffel Tower is like the front part, and then you've got these screens that are behind. So it's actually a few different sections, and then that creates this kind of overall effect, which just looks so good. It looks so good. I'm right with you guys. There's been a lot of excitement around this, and I completely agree. I absolutely love this as well, right? Here you can see, so that's obviously the main thing. Then we come down here, big venue this. Might not feel like it by these images, but 30,000 this arena can hold. And I believe the updated ticket sales are that it has now gone past 30,000. So there is going to be over 30,000 people in this arena. I think they're maxed out. I'm not sure they can fit too many more people in. And you know what France is like as a crowd. This place is going to be bouncing, right? It is going to be so, so good. So there we go. That's a little glimpse inside Clash in Paris. Okay, Corey said early rundown for Clash has got Roman versus Bronson Reed kicking off the show. And I think that makes sense, to be honest. I didn't think this would be the match that would close the show. I thought the match that would close the show would either be John, what with him being in France for the final time, or it would be the Fatal 4-Way. Probably the Fatal 4-Way. Probably going to have the World Heavyweight Championship match close the show. But either way, I didn't think it would be this. And so it looks like this currently is sitting as the show opener. So there we go. I'm really looking forward to this match. I just hope Bronson Reed looks really good. I just hope he looks good. I also wouldn't mind if he won, to be honest. I personally, if I was booking this, I'd have Roman attack backstage, have him still do the match, maybe have him attacked during the countdown show, and then have him come out clearly still hurting, clearly not 100%, no outside interference, and have Bronson win. I think Bronson should be able to beat less than 100% Roman Reigns, and I think then that would give him something to gloat about. And of course, we can run a rematch, and we could have 100% Roman against 100% Bronson. Roman can get the win a little further down the road, kind of stretch this out a little bit, because ultimately this is surely going to lead to Roman versus Seth, and I don't think we need to get to that match anytime soon. Survivor Series could be like Team Roman against Team Seth. And maybe we do Roman Seth at the Rumble or WrestleMania. So, don't know, just a few thoughts that I thought I would chuck in. So, there we go. That at the moment looking like the show opener. Obviously, one of the big things that went down on Smackdown is Sami. Sami emerging victorious and winning the United States Championship. As a Sami stan, I was very pleased. But equally, it is another mid-card title. Like, we're waiting for him to get that world title. But clearly, that's not going to happen anytime soon. If it's going to happen, it's going to be WrestleMania at the earliest. And there's no guarantee it's going to happen there either. So you got to take the dubs as and when they arrive. And this is what Sami had to say about it after last night's SmackDown.
I don't know, this whole time in my life, in some ways it's very special, so this means just so much to me. In a way that's hard to put into words. I think it's a lot of validation, you know, because when you put something in your head and you just keep going further and further away from it, you start to doubt yourself. And this is right here, this validation, this vindication. And now if and when I eventually do get that world championship, I'll be a Grand Slam champion. So I didn't get it when I wanted it. I got this when I needed it. So thank you to everybody who stuck around with me on the journey, because this means a lot to me. And I hope I made you guys proud. So thank you.
There we go. So I got this, not when I wanted it, but when I needed it. And as he said, if he does get that world title, that will now make him a Grand Slam champion. So yeah, there we go. Celebrate the successes, however they arrive. But hopefully bigger things on the horizon, and hopefully a really good run for him as well now. I'm hoping that's going to be really, really fun, and we're going to have a real fun end to 2025. Right, let's have a look at the match card, shall we? So obviously Clash in Paris is coming up later. We're doing the live watch along for that. We'll be starting well before the countdown show. Actually, don't even know when the countdown show starts, but we'll be starting before that. My next job after this is to set that stream up. So I thought it would be fun just to have a look at the card for those that are not aware as to what the card is going to be. So, obviously the Fatal 4-Way for the World Heavyweight Championship. Personally, I've got Seth retaining. We know that Seth is a massive favourite going into that match. Some people wondering if we could get some outside interference. Could it be that a new member of the Vision makes themselves known? I would say there's a chance of that, but I don't know. I think there's going to be enough moving parts where Seth can steal the win. It could be that there's a super kick and CM Punk's down and Seth comes in and steals the win or something like that. Either way, Seth retains. Roman against Bronson. We spoke about that. I would love for Bronson to get the win. I don't like seeing Braun and Bronson constantly taking L's. We're trying to build them up as being like these great future stars. Like, they need wins. They need momentum. That's going to be hard against Roman Reigns. I've got to think Roman gets the dub. John Cena against Logan. I'm actually really intrigued by this match because we have cooked Logan Paul 2 Smackdowns in a row. And it sort of feels very similar to like how Cena cooked Austin Theory before their match, and then Theory won at WrestleMania. Now, the odds have got John Cena as a firm favourite, but I do wonder if Logan might actually, one way or another, find a way of getting the victory here. I'm going to go with Cena. I'm going to say Cena gets it, but maybe Logan runs it real close. Perhaps there's a moment for Logan to cheat. He decides not to do it, considering all the things John had said about how Logan takes shortcuts and all that sort of stuff, and how he's basically a knockoff John Cena. John was using brass knucks 20-odd years ago. Only his said word, life. I wonder if there'll be a brass knucks moment. I wonder if Logan doesn't use the brass knucks, ends up taking the loss, but gets respect from John Cena after. There's something that's going down in this match. I feel like something's going to go down like that. I just can't quite pin as to what it is. Becky against Nikki. Some people wondering if we're going to get Brie, and we may do. I mean, we could do. I think Becky is probably needed up around the top end of the card now that Naomi is injured. So I don't think she needs a long run with this Intercontinental Championship. If Nikki has it, we could do some fun stuff. You know, kind of a little bit of a big name from the past, a legend from the past, taking on the young talent now, defending the Intercontinental Championship, whilst Becky goes off towards the top end of the card. Even if Becky's not champion, she can still face the likes of, like, Stephanie, and still, like, you know, face the likes of EO, and she can be a good opponent. So this kind of ties Becky down a bit. I'm going to agree with the odds that Becky retains, but just like here, I think there is an argument where it could actually go the other way. Rusev against Sheamus, very close. I think Rusev is favourite. People wondering if we get Lana. We're actually going to look at a very interesting image later. So I think there is a chance Lana might make an appearance. I think there is a chance. I'm going to say Rusev wins, and I'm going to say Lana helps him. And then here we've got Wyatt 6 against the Street Profits. It feels like we're heading towards Wyatt 6 against MFTs. that might take all of the Wyatt Six kind of focus and energy. So, I don't know, are we going to keep the belts on them during that feud with the MFTs, or do we take the titles off them? I think there's maybe a chance they lose the belts. I think the Wyatt Six will be favourites, but because that MFT feud's coming up and Solo just lost his United States Championship, I wonder if the Wyatts will lose their titles here. So, again, I think there's a chance, but I think the Wyatts retain. So, there we go. Those are just some quick predictions as we are getting real close to the start of that event. Okay, if we go in the other folder, these are just some interesting WWE wrestling bits that have grabbed my attention. And, wow, look at this. 1931 at Madison Square Garden. Jim Londis against Jim McMillan. 25,000 people. I just wanted to include this because I think if anyone's under the impression that wrestling was dead before Vince McMahon came along and WWE in the 80s, I mean, that's just not true. That's just not the history of wrestling. Wrestling has been very, very, very popular kind of throughout its whole history. And here, look, you can go back 1931, Madison Square Garden, over 25,000 people there to watch Jim Londis against Jim McMillan. So what an amazing image. I thought that it's one of those things I saw and I was like, wow, it made an impression on me. It might make an impression on you. Okay, CM Punk on Instagram said, stop touching strangers, please. So it seems like CM Punk maybe has just had a bit of an experience where people are grabbing him and all that sort of stuff. So just a message being sent to the fans there by CM Punk. Here's that image I was talking about. So Rusev and CJ Perry are both in France. So we know there was a bit of a breakup in their relationship. Then they got back together. It seems like they're still together. I mean, I don't follow the trials and tribulations of Rusev and CJ Perry, but certainly they are together and they are both in France. So very interesting. I mean, personally, I thought Rusev was better when Lana was with him. So I think bringing her back would be a good boost for him. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if WWE do that or not. But she is in France. CM Punk issues a warning about personal boundaries. We looked at that. Yeah, so again, some more footage just after SmackDown. So Sami had won the belt. He'd been in the crowds. Out came Jacob. Out came Jimmy. And I really like this. I really like this because it's great to see that Sami is just not completely on his own. Obviously, Sami celebrated when Jay won the World Heavyweight Championship. So it's great to see that he's got the backing, he's got the support of Jacob, of Jimmy, as we continue to move forwards. Like, these images just show that he's well liked, certainly by these people, certainly by the bloodline. They've not forgotten about him. He's still Sami Uso. So, yeah, I like that. I really like that. So this, I think, for the live crowds after SmackDown had ended. Bit of a shame, actually, we didn't get this at the end of SmackDown. Maybe having these guys coming in the ring. I think it's good optics. So, right, this is very interesting. Just some details here. Don't worry, we're not going to read it all. This is from Teddy Long just talking about Vince's birthday, right? And basically, he says that he was invited. He went along, and he said that Vince was looking pretty good to him. At one point, he was noted wearing a production headset during the party. So he had a headset on, just like when he was sat in Gorilla. I wonder if that was like a little bit of a joke of, oh, I'm not used to seeing you without a headset on, Vince. Here, I brought you one. So that he could feel like he was back in Gorilla again. So apparently he was going around with the production headset on, right? It reminded me of him at TVs doing his thing. It was like he was back at work. Apparently Teddy got moved to the top table as well. He said he was up there with Vince and Cena and like all these big names. He couldn't believe it. First thing he said to me is, "It's so nice to see you. It's so good to see you." The guest list included, and this is who we saw: Undertaker, Kane, Shane. Triple H was there. It had previously been reported that Triple H was not there, but Teddy Long said he saw Triple H. Jerry Lawler, Sergeant Slaughter, Godfather, Booker T, R-Truth, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre. He said Stephanie was not there. Triple H came and brought the girls, Vince's grandkids. They came to see Vince. Apparently they sang happy birthday to him. And then he said that the entertainment was Jelly Roll, And he said there was a choir and an opera singer as well. They're saying the private party was one of the first known large-scale gatherings for McMahon since he resigned from TKO in January 2024. And then, of course, it just goes on to talk a little bit about the Janelle Grant thing. So a few really interesting details. So just thought you'd be interested in that. So Mitchell, thank you. Will, thank you. The Rock is in Venice. I don't know that means he's going to be at Clash in Paris. If he is free and available, he's not too far away. And we know that French crowd was so loud, made such an impression that if The Rock is free, he might be tempted to see if he walked out how they would react. Like you thought they were loud last year. Just you wait and see what happens when The Rock comes walking out, you know? So I'm going to say it's not impossible, but I'm certainly not expecting it, right? I mean, it's just as likely that he is in Venice for a film project than anything else, but just thought people would be interested. Word going around, The Rock is in Europe. Okay, Robbie, thank you. So this is really interesting. This is Tony Khan, right? Talking about a WWE show. So here's Tony Khan talking about a WWE show. And he sent this to, this is like 2007, a house show. And he sent it into Dave Meltzer, his kind of breakdown. So he goes through like match 1, which was a battle royal. Look how detailed this is. Look at this. He typed all this out and sent it in. You know, like, I don't know if you've ever seen, but Dave Meltzer on X is like, I'm looking for reports from this show, that show. If you go in, let me know. This is what got sent in by Tony Khan back in 2007. I mean, we've got like match 4, Val Venus in action, super crazy in match 3. Women's champion Candice Michelle pinned Beth Phoenix 9-18 with a schoolgirl roll up. The level of detail here. I mean, he must have just been writing down notes all the time as the thing was going on. It's crazy. Look at this. Still going. Look, signed Tony Khan. Overall, I think the crowd went home happy. The people seemed restless as the show dragged after the initial battle royal, but the fans were clearly there to see Cena and Triple H. Is even giving it star ratings. Look, 2.25 stars for the main event. 2.25 stars. So it's got all these like I mean, I bet Meltzer loved this. I mean, this is so detailed. You could probably just put it straight into the Observer as it is. But there we go. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. Tony Khan, who now obviously runs AEW, all these years ago, going to a WWE show. I'm sure he went to many. This is a live event show, and providing very detailed write-up as to what actually occurred. Robbie, thank you. So here we've got Carissa and Kristen from Smackdown Live, right? Tag team, lady tag team, obviously local talent. But of course, both of these are recognizable because that is Kris Statlander. That is Elektra Lopez. Kris Statlander in AEW. Elektra Lopez, of course, in WWE. Coming up with Legado. And yeah, how crazy is that? How crazy is that? I had no idea that they had briefly teamed together, probably only for this show, and that they'd been used as enhancement talent. Okay, Kurt Angle said he's excited because he thinks WWE will eventually buy the TNA video library. And he's like, I did all my best work in TNA. I was there longer. I think I had my best matches over there. And so many WWE fans have not seen that footage. It's like, if they do buy the tape library, and I think they will eventually, like, oh God, I can't wait. I'm so excited for people to see like all that work I did. So Kurt Angle really excited about that. I included this because, I mean, the idea of WWE purchasing TNA has obviously been mentioned a few times. But when you think about how valuable that tape library is, I mean, all of that amazing footage, AJ Styles, of course, the Hardy stuff that they've been doing, Hogan, Flair, like think of the legends that went over to TNA. Sting, of course, spending a lot of time over there. And of course, Kurt Angle as well, having a lot of time over there. So, you know, there's people that were in TNA that went on to be stars in WWE. The stars that were in WWE that kind of wound their careers up in TNA. There's lots of crossover. That tape library, I think, is something WWE would be interested in. But who knows if TNA would even be interested in selling that, selling like the business. don't know. But yeah, the TNA video library, I could understand WWE being interested in that. And WWE Ethan, thank you. So John Cena just posting this image and people believing that it's the number that's the most important thing. We are down to just 9 dates left. So Edward, thank you as well. So there we go. That was the other folder. Let's go over to Wyatts now. I got sent loads of videos, and I've got to be honest, after spending so long on that yesterday, I don't have a desire to kind of do it again. What I would say is there are videos now that are out there that are a bit longer than the one we looked at yesterday. I've seen one that clocks in about 7.5 minutes. The one we looked at clocked in at about 5. So there's a bit extra kind of added to it. I watched it. I didn't think the stuff we had missed out on was that crazy. I think that yesterday's Unseen gives you a really good idea as to what to expect if you was to go into the Haunted House. So I'd say if you want to see more on that, you can easily search YouTube. I mean, there's loads of people that have been and are filming. And actually, as each day goes by, I'd imagine there'll be more and more videos that people take. So yeah, I kind of feel like job done, to be honest. We kind of covered it. And I was still interested in other little bits, though, that got sent through. So Black Eyes, thank you. So this is, I mean, it doesn't look appetizing, that to me. I don't look at that and go, need one of them. But I believe that is the Muscle Man Slop. That's what it's called. So there we go. They are now selling the foods. I bet it tastes better than it looks, I would imagine. But it doesn't look that great to me. So there we go. As well as that, Brady, thank you. And Black Ice, thank you. This here is just a glimpse of the Alexa jacket that was made. So I believe she gets her stuff done by this Pixie Dust Denim Jackets. I think she likes to get her jackets ordered from this person. I think she's made quite a bit of Alexa's entrance gear, ring gear. And that one there, look, is half Alexa, born bad on the front, half Alexa, half Lily on the back. Very, very detailed. So apparently Alexa was meant to get it for SummerSlam, but it got lost in the mail. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? So this is something really special, and she was going to wear it SummerSlam. I mean, it is really nice. A lot of work's gone into that. I mean, look at that. Yeah, very good. Right, Master Taker said, I think I found what was supposed to be Chad Gable in the Wyatts Haunted House. He's kind of in that same position, isn't he, from the massacre? Some people looked at that and thought it might have been Dominic. I've seen a few people going, is that Dominic? I don't think they've worried too much about making it look like Chad's or looking like anyone in particular. But yeah, he's in the same kind of position, isn't he, that Chad was in when he got attacked. Right, Black Ice again, thank you. Just some pictures. I kind of like the pictures, to be honest. We can kind of look at them in a bit more detail. So I believe this is from inside, and I think this is just a collection of maybe famous gimmicks. I mean, I'm thinking, is this Chainsaw Charlie? That's definitely Jake the Snake. That's Kane, Undertaker, Jimmy Hart. I mean, I can't really think there's a crown there as well, which could be Jerry Lawler, could be King Booker, could be any of the King of the Rings, really. So, yeah, there's the cans. Is that maybe Stone Cold? We got the glasses there, which I think is Bret Hart. To my knowledge, there's nothing that's connecting all these other than WWE. So I'm not aware of, like, the Fiend attacking all these people. I mean, I don't remember the Fiend ever attacking Stone Cold. So I'm not sure as to what the connection is, but yeah, there we go. I just think it's probably something to do with gimmicks. Then we've got the shirt, which is very Dexter Lumis, which you might have spotted during the video we looked at yesterday. And then just some of the merch that we've already looked at before, kind of doing the rounds. That image. So, yeah, here's Kevin just a couple of hours ago. Obviously, there was a picture of him actually going to this house, right? He said, I got to see it on Thursday. And I just have to say, Michael, Taylor, Rob, and everyone involved in making this happen absolutely killed it. I truly cannot put into words just how much this would have meant to Wyndham. He once told me that his dream was to get to make a horror movie one day. And while this might not be a movie, it's an incredible experience and a true testament to his creativity, ingenuity, and passion. Everyone involved, from the people that designed the house to the creative forces behind it to the actors actors that are a part of it, and there are loads, should feel very good knowing that they are paying a fantastic homage to a great guy who is sorely missed and giving thousands of people a special chance to get a glimpse of his spirit for a few minutes. Thank you. So there we go. That was Kevin Owens just saying some lovely words there about the experience that he had. Okay, let's go fun, shall we? Lots of superstars in Paris, of course. So here's Michin saying, can I come back to Lyon, France, please? So she really enjoyed Lyon. Just some lovely images of Lyon. Looks like a lovely day, lovely architecture. And I couldn't tell who this person was. I don't know if we know them. But yeah, I mean, that was my favourite picture. That just looks so French. So there we go. So she was having a great time. Here's Sheamus as well. He doesn't seem to have as great weather, but there he is. And you can see the Eiffel Tower in the background. Very good. And then there's Roxanne as well. I mean, they all go and visit it, of course, as you would imagine. Of course you would. Who's going to Paris and not visiting the Eiffel Tower? So I think you'll see quite a few pictures of the superstars visiting the Eiffel Tower. So a few bits and bobs there. And then just this as well. So a new chalkline jacket for Chelsea Green. So I just thought that looked great. I do like these chalkline jackets. This is the Chelsea one. And, you know, they kind of keep it quite simple on the front. Little logo in the corner. But they go big with the image on the back. I love them. They're great. I've got an NWO one, actually. It doesn't have anything on the back. It's just got, like, the Wolfpack logo on the front. Looks really good. Looks class. Actually, it might have the Wolfpack logo on the back now I've said that. I'm not sure. But it doesn't have a big image like this. But, yeah, I like that. I thought it looked really, really good. So there we go, a few bits there. Asuka just gave us a glimpse into the music that she enjoys. So she said she loves rock. Some of her favourites, Guns N' Roses, Pink Floyd, Iron Maiden, Halloween, Kansas, Asia, and many more. She said, in my personal Hall of Fame, it's Zeno or Fair Warning. Never heard of Zeno or Fair Warning, right? Never heard of them. What genre do you like? Tell me in the comments with details. So there we go. Asuka just giving us a glimpse into her musical taste, which I find very interesting. I'd love to know what musicians, artists, the different superstars listen to. Certainly when you think about how much they have to train, constantly wearing earbuds, listening to stuff, what are they listening to? And talking of training, Bayley has actually shared some footage, right? Here's Bayley. This is her home gym, of course. Looks like a double garage, doesn't it, eh? Someone's doing well for themselves. So here she is just putting in the work. And you'll never guess what she's about to do now, right? I couldn't believe it. Why not? I was like, what's she going to do now? And then all of a sudden she just comes back in frame, like juggling. I was like, I did not expect that. Of all the things, I did not expect that. So there we go, Bayley putting the work in. What is next for Bayley, eh? What are all these messages and vignettes kind of leading towards? Gonna have to wait and see. Maybe that's going to be a new character, one-legged juggler. Right, I've seen this before. I believe this was a dart match or something like that. So Charles Robinson doing a cartwheel, going for the pin. And there we go. So, yeah, my understanding was that was a dart match. I don't believe that was actually shown on TV. I could be wrong on that, but I believe it was a dart match. So, Black Ice, thank you. Yeah, apparently LA Knight. There he is. Yeah, it is LA Knight. On the streets of Paris, playing a bit of b-ball. I mean, you know, if I had a body like that, I'd be topless as well, to be honest. I'd be topless now. So there we go. Just playing a bit of basketball on the streets of Paris. How great is that? How great is that? Imagine that you're a WWE fan playing basketball and blooming LA Knight comes over wanting to join in. Robbie, shout out to you. And then the last thing we got in here, Brady, thank you. So I didn't even know that these guys are very famous French commentators, right? I think they've been doing it years and years and years. And so for Clash in Paris, you can see the logo on the top there. It looks like, and you can see the French colours, it looks like Mattel have made them their own figures. Now, I don't know if this set is available, maybe for a limited time at the Superstore or anything like that, or if it is just like for these two, and maybe these are the only 2 sets in the world. I'm not sure, but it is legit, it is Mattel, and it is proper figures that have been made of the 2 French commentators. As I said, I think they're very, very famous. I mean, like, if you think in France, you wouldn't listen to Michael Cole, you would listen to these guys, because these guys are obviously bringing you the French version of calling the matches and everything. So there we go. They've got their own figures, which is really cool. Really, really cool. I wouldn't mind getting that set, honestly, because that is something that's not going to be available everywhere. And it's going to be a little bit rare, isn't it? So, yeah, I really like that. I thought it was really good. Right, I think we've done pretty much everything. We just got community and thanks. So, Junk Wax Obsessed said, I got to meet Chavo today, and we talked for a little bit. He said he'd just signed with WWE AAA, but not as a wrestler. He's going to do behind the scenes. He told me that Undertaker's role at AAA is the same as Shawn Michaels, which I find really hard to believe. I believe that Junk Wax Obsessed got told this, but I just find it hard to believe because, I mean, that would require him to really be there all the time. I mean, Shawn is like the Performance Center and is kind of, in NXT all the time. There's no way Undertaker can spend that time in Mexico. And also, like, Jeremy Borash is the guy that's kind of overseeing creative at the moment. So I don't really understand, like, how the Undertaker is... Because Shawn is basically the top guy in NXT. I actually jotted down his title. He is the Senior Vice President of Talent Development and Creative. It's a big job that he's got. So it's just hard to believe Undertaker is doing that role. I don't know. But then I have heard Triple H saying Undertaker is playing a very important, significant role in AAA. So I would love to get more details on that. So, yeah, perhaps he is. It's just really hard to kind of believe it because, well, surely you would have to be there all the time, not based in America doing your podcast and doing your one-man dead show and everything, So, yeah, I don't know. I can't really give you any more than that. Kind of, we'll have to wait and see. I Am the Colour Red said, birthday spoils from the family. Got an awesome surprise, and that was the Wyatt 6 book. And oh my God, that belt is absolutely gorgeous. It's the two-tone silver and gold winged eagle, which is just absolutely beautiful. So you have done so well. Look at all these pop vinyls as well. It looks so good. So I'm the Colour Red, congrats. And Mayor Pete was at Smackdown. So Mayor Pete said, hot crowds. We got Fraxium against Motor City. They were kicking things off just before Smackdown. So Mayor Pete, I hope you had a great time. I hope you continue to have a great time over in France. And let's do thanks. Let's get out of here. Don't forget, we are back later with our Crown Jewel watch along. If you want to share any thoughts, theories, predictions, questions, anything like that, come and join us. Come and join us. I'm going to try and get through as much in the chat as I can, and we'll see like what kind of conversation. We normally have some great conversations, so yeah, looking forward to that. So, right, Edward, a little bit of a fan, Raymond, Sweet Chim Wrestling, Silverback, Claire, Kelly the Wise Lady, I Am the Colour Reds, He Who Smiles, and wrestling's biggest fan. Thank you, my friends. Appreciate the support. I'll see you later for Clash in Paris. Bye for now.